Hello, my name is Sharonda Milner, and I will be presenting my interpersonal communications project with Liberty University in my Human Services Class 508 under Dr. Myers. My outline. My outline will consist of my introduction, which I will give a definition of communication and also discuss my communication skills test that I took with Discovery Health. Overarching goal, which is otherwise known as my master goal. What I'm trying to achieve and what goal I have came to grips with that I need to work on after being in this class. Enlarging conversation. I will give a definition of enlarging conversation and tie it into my overarching goal, which will influence my conversation in the future. Background. I will discuss my behavior blend and how it influences my communication. Barriers. I will discuss barriers that I feel that have held me back from becoming a better communicator and listener, and I will discuss how to deal with each one of them. I will provide solutions to noise pollution and also give examples of what may be noise pollution. With my plan of action, I will show how to improve interpersonal communication skills. Communication. Communication is continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making. Interpersonal communication is a kind of quality of contact that happens when the people involved talk and listen in ways that maximize the presence of the personal, which basically you have a conversation with someone and get to know them and be involved in a conversation with them to better get to know that person. My communication. I received a 78 out of 100 on the Discovery Health test. According to my score on this test, my communication skills are good. Interpersonal skills are the essence of social interaction, and they play a significant role in the impression I make on others. I seem to have a fairly solid grasp on effective communication and put the theories into practice. There is always room for improvements. Like most things, practice makes perfect. Every good conversation starts with good listening. My overarching goal. My master goal would be becoming a better communicator by first developing listening skills. Becoming a level 1 listener. I tend to be more of a level 2 listener, which is hearing words but not really listening. What I would like to become is a level 1 listener, which is a person that listens and refrains from judging the talker and place themselves in the other person's position, attempting to see things from his or her point of view. Berkeley and Allen said, we can use listening skills to take charge of situations and influence their outcome. Enlarging conversation. Enlarging conversation with other people is important because you are able to explore others and be able to relate to their cultural background and them as a person. Starting to realize no matter what or how a person may look or act like another person, we are all individuals and can all learn something from each other by just holding a conversation. By achieving my overarching goal and knowing that just listening to someone can change their outlook or influence a different outcome is very powerful. Knowing the power I hold just by lending an ear makes me want to take the time to listen more and talk less. I like people who actually put an effort into talking to me. Background. I feel my personality style is CI, but depending on the day, maybe DI. I would say CI because I am a cautious person and tend to think things out, and at times overthink things, so that makes me to be more careful. I describe myself as D-type because when I am passionate about something, I can be demanding and determined about the situation. My behavior blend. I stated that I was DI and CI, which basically consists of the D type, which is an active task-oriented person, which is directing, driving, demanding, dominating, determined, decisive, and doing. The C type is a passive, task-oriented person who is cautious, competent, calculating, compliant, and careful. The I type is which I think that I am mostly considered to be on an average day would be inspiring, influencing, inducing, impressing, interactive, and interested in people. Continuing with behavior blend. Behavior blend is how our personality is made up. Personality and behavior style differences can get in the way of clear communication. The DISC behavior model can help a person have an effective communication with others and be able to understand them. Understanding behavior blend will help you to have effective communication with others, which will in return help you to build and have lasting relationships. Successful communication involves people's ability to continuously connect to each other. Barriers. Some barriers that I have experienced with not becoming an effective communicator would be just plainly not listening, getting distracted when I am not interested, trying to solve someone else's problem instead of giving them the confidence to solve it on their own, showing body language that shows that I am interested and willing to participate in the conversation. Continuing with my barriers. I like to use pictures to kind of explain some of the barriers that I experienced also. My first picture states, do you think I talk too much? I mean, people talk. People say I talk too much, but I don't think I do. I may talk a lot, but tons of people talk a lot more than I do. I put this as the interrupter. I feel that at times I am always constantly trying to get in basically my 2 cents and describe what I am feeling and what I took from the conversation instead of letting a person fully get their thought out. My second one will be biased listening. I use this picture of someone just saying blah, blah, blah because with biased listening, you tend to label the information ahead at the time as unimportant, too boring, too complex, or nothing new. And I am anxious for the speaker to get to the point, which states the blah, blah, blah. My next picture states, I need someone to talk to. Look no further. I label this as the faker. I think that sometimes you can come off as too caring or too rehearsed. You rehearse your answers in the way that you will respond to someone so much in trying to change your listening skills that you come off fake. My next one will be the thinking cap, which shows a person who is obviously thinking too much. The intellectual or logical listener. This type of listeners are so involved in programming what is being said that they miss out on the deeper meaning of what is spoken. I think that I at times am always thinking of something like a comeback. That I always have something to say. I'm always thinking of what to say next. That I miss out on what is really being said by the speaker. Noise pollution. Internal noises are things that we do in our mind that prevent us from actually listening to others when in a conversation. Some examples of this will be hearing what you want to hear, being self-conscious. External noises are things that are around us that cause a distraction and prevent us from focusing on the talker. An example of this would be loud noises, clock watching, or interruptions such as a phone call. Solutions to noise pollution. With internal, I would say use clarifying technique, which means just basically ask questions. Make sure you understand what is being said before the conversation continues. Involve yourself in the content and meaning of the conversation, which would be get involved in what the person is saying. Have things to say. Be able to listen to what they're saying so you can get an actual meaning of what is being said. With external, be empathetic to the talker and their feelings and thoughts. Try to become a level 1 listener. Level 1 listener is what I talked about before as to what I am trying to become. Not letting oneself be distracted. Paying attention to the speaker's total communication, including body language, and being able to be empathetic to the speaker. My plan of action. Practicing better listening skills. Be able to catch myself when I am interrupting others and try to be more conscious of it so I do not do it again. Not solving people's problems for them. I will try to give them self-confidence to do it themselves. Also working on my nonverbal communication. Showing that I am interested and not being judgmental or critical when in a conversation. changing for the better, but not coming off as fake or rehearsed in my responses. Change is good, but can also become confusing for people whom we communicate with daily. Berkeley and Allen talked about preparing others of the intention of you wanting to become a better communicator. Basically, just making the change gradually. Thank you.